Well, 2020 rapidly coming to an end. It's time to talk law for the last time this year, Jess.
And Despina Priala is the principal of boutique law firm Priala Legal, and for more than 25 years she's practiced property and commercial law on the Gold Coast, presiding over settlements like the iconic Q1 Tower, as well as construction of other local towers, not to mention her time as in-house counsel at Sunland Group for the second Palazzo Versace Hotel in Dubai. So we're lucky that she shares her legal expertise with us every Thursday to cover hot topics and some general advice, and we welcome her now for the Christmas edition. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Welcome, Despina.
Well, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Wayne.
Morning,
Good morning.
Despina. You're looking very festive this morning.
Yes, I thought I would do the dress up. You know, the last edition for the year, and it is Christmas. We only have a week away from Christmas, so I thought, why not?
Oh, you got to razzle dazzle us.
Yes.
And I guess it is called the silly season. So you do have do's and don'ts you put together for the Christmas period.
Yes, I thought it would be quite good that perhaps we would do a list of Christmas do's and don'ts, because it is the silly season, and a lot of people have been known to do silly things at this time of the year. So I know. So I thought, well, why don't we go through a list of do's and don'ts?
Yep, the 11 do's and don'ts of Christmas.
The 11 do's and don'ts. Well, that's what I came up with anyway from my perspective.
And
So
on the 12th day?
We'll rest.
we'll rest
Yeah.
Okay.
and reflect.
And reflect, nice. Yep.
So if we're being good girls and boys, what's on the top of the do list?
Yes, so let's start with the do's. I think that's a good idea. So let's start with number 1. Finalise your will. So if it's been sitting around and you've been pondering and you've got a draft sitting there, or you haven't even done anything, well, try and get that finalised before Christmas comes around. That would be a really good idea. And the second one goes along with the will, finalise your power of attorney.
Right.
Yes.
Because you've talked about this quite extensively over the previous weeks.
I have. So we've talked a lot about that and the implications. So yes, without going into too much detail with that, go and finalise your will and power of attorney, your estate plan. So that's
Well,
1 and
you
2.
got me into it. I thought it gave me a nudge. When I heard that, I thought, oh, that's not something I've even considered before.
Yes, so definitely do that.
And as we said, it doesn't matter what age you are as well. 18 all the way through to retired and beyond.
Exactly. So as soon as you reach 18, go and get that done. So yeah, put it in place, absolutely. And regularly review it. So that's important as well. So that's 1 and 2. Number 3.
What's third?
Well, naturally, obtain advice before you sign a contract. We've talked about that quite a bit. So it can be any contract, not necessarily just for property. So we're talking any agreement, service agreements, contracts for sale of property, even share sale agreements, anything at all. Partnership agreements, business agreements. Do not sign unless you get advice. So that was a don't, wasn't it? So I
Yeah.
said, do get advice,
advice,
before you sign.
Do you find in your practice people will come along to you after getting involved, signing a contract perhaps, and then realising that there are all sorts of pitfalls that they didn't know were there, and you have to try and pull them out of it?
All the time.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
So you're the person we should be seeking after. We need to seek your advice, I would suggest.
Yes, absolutely. And it happens a lot with existing clients. I've told them before, and they come to me and go, oh, I know you told me, but can you just fix it? Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, depending, but we will always do our best.
Fourth on the list?
Well, let your advisors know that you're going away, if you are going away. For example, your bank manager, or you're an accountant, your lawyer, any other advisors that you regularly talk to. I think it's important just to let them know, well, look, I'm going away, and so you know that I'm not going to be contactable. There's a little link as well with Commonwealth Bank for travelling, and I think all banks would have this, but I just know with Commonwealth Bank, if you're going away, you can actually go onto the website and you can actually log on and say, well, I'm going to be away for certain dates and travelling these countries.
Yes.
Which is important for security, because Commonwealth Bank, like other banks, will check your withdrawals. And if it's come from an unusual place, they may shut down your account temporarily or try to contact you, and you may have a different mobile number if you're overseas. So I always log on and go, okay, well, we're travelling from this date to this date, and we're going to see all these countries, travelling to these countries. So then they'll see those withdrawals from those countries, So that's really important, and CBA offer it, and I'm sure other banks offer it. So if you're going overseas at all, perhaps, or even travelling around Australia, just log on and let the bank know securely.
It does make sense because, admittedly, well, obviously we'll be thinking about travelling, in 2021 and beyond. But if a whole stack of receipts or a whole stack of purchases that you've made suddenly come up from some a South American country or something, and you've never been there before, obviously the bank will say, this is interesting, this is unusual.
They will,
Yeah.
and then they'll try and contact you. And
Yeah,
often
and if
when
they
you go
can't,
travelling, you get a different SIM, you get a different mobile number, and when they can't reach you, they might actually shut your entire account down, and then you'll be stuck.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
you
a
need
problem.
that money over the
Yes,
holidays.
Yes, yes.
Access to your own account.
Yes.
So 5 golden rings. Is it something along those lines?
Well, yes, with security, change your passwords. Yeah,
Good one.
so people don't do that regularly enough, and we have a lot of scammers and hackers at Christmas time particularly. It's already started. I know a lot of businesses are losing funds already by hackers, logging in. Unfortunately, the security system's not good enough, or these hackers are becoming very, very sophisticated. So change your passwords regularly, and there's all different ways to do that.
We had a personal one in the building, in fact. We had someone who had Saudi Arabia get into their Netflix account. And so when they actually went into their Netflix, it was all obviously in another language, and managed to find English and turn it back and then change the password. But I wonder if they now have all the details from that account.
They may very well. So, and you've got to be mindful of emails also that might be spam emails saying, you should change your password, you should look at this, your email's being compromised, your passwords.
Yes.
So don't just necessarily believe that. Yeah, spending maybe a bit of money on an IT consultant. You can find, there's many of them out there that can help you.
And number 6.
Review your insurance policies. Because now at this time of the year, a lot of insurance companies are offering deals. So you should really hunt around and get the best deal. And what I do personally, and I'm happy to tell listeners this, it's not really a secret, but a lot of people are unaware that we actually change our policies every 2-3 years. Because what we found is when you're with an insurance company and you renew each year, it increases. Of course, and then when you're with them for a while, all of a sudden it spikes up, and you go, hang on, why have you just jumped by, 20%? That's ridiculous. Oh, well, because of this reason. You go, no, I'm going to hunt around and I'm going to swap companies, and we do that every 2-3 years or 4 years. We just change.
I love that advice because many companies actually take advantage of it. It's some sort of inertia where you're in there, you're done, you've got so many other things to think about and bills to pay, etc. And you just don't consider that. And many companies actually will take advantage of that because you just don't bother. It's just one more thing to worry about. And so they'll say, okay, we'll just keep bumping up until...
Unless you dispute
until, yeah, exactly.
Exactly, and I think they rely upon people thinking, it's all too hard.
Yeah, that's it.
I just don't want to go
I've been
online
there.
and get a quote. It's actually very easy now. You should just try it for yourself. Go online. There's a plethora of insurance companies out there, say for motor vehicle insurance, house and contents insurance. Jump online, get a quote, put all your particulars in, get a quote, and then compare all of the quotes and go, maybe we should change.
You might need flood policies in there at the moment too.
Well, that's why you should review your insurance policies to see your coverage before the Christmas break. So make sure, I thought that was included. Oh, it's not. Better get that included. Bring up your insurance company and get it added on. Next one.
Yep, let's have a look at the next one.
So abide by family consent orders. Now, this is a big one. So what we found over the years is that for some reason, that's why we call it the silly season, perhaps, some partners, husband, wife, whoever they are, decide not to comply with family consent orders that have been in place for a number of years. Particularly, we're talking about children, so custody orders and access orders. And it's really a shame that people do that because it upsets the whole balance of everything, and it upsets the children, and it's really all about the children, to be honest. So if you've got orders in place, stick by them.
Yeah.
Don't, go silly and, I'm not gonna comply. I'm going to do my own thing. I actually want to change the hours or the days, and they're just going to have to fit in. Well, no. Do the right thing by your ex-partner, and particularly by your own children.
Yep.
And just stick to it. And if you need to change it, then talk to the other partner about it.
Because that is so stressful for everyone involved, especially when you want some harmony over Christmas time.
That's exactly right. So following on from that, just abide by the law in general. I know over Christmas there's double demerit points, for example, when
yes.
driving on the roads. So don't, well, I should say do abide by the law and abide by the speed limit, because you can get caught out of those double demerit points. So really be careful. And the very last one, quickly, is make sure that if you have a pending contract for that home builder grant that we talked about last week, make sure you sign it before 31st December, because after 31st of December, the home builder grant gets reduced to $15,000. So you will miss out if you are eligible. So if you're not sure and you're sort of putting it off, get it done before Christmas closure.
And 10 grand loss, that's what you at stake. Like,
Exactly.
That's what you can
Exactly. So make the time to do
actually
it.
lose.
Yes.
Yes.
This is Talking Law on Radio 97. We're listening to Despina's, list. She's made a list and she's checked it twice. Coming up after the break, we'll look at the 11 don'ts